What's up, guys? Welcome to Bro Beats. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Sheff G type beat. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post notifications on, make sure you do so because it does help the channel out a lot. So let's hop right into it. First things first, my BPM is 142. Any BPM you choose is fine for this. Anywhere around 140 is like perfect. So whatever you want to do there. So I'm gonna just grab any scale now, and we're gonna be using the harmonic minor to get that kind of dark vibe. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick a different one. So we can go, maybe let's just go on C. I think that'll be a good one. Let me just name it. All right. So first things first is the sound selection. This is the most important part of the vid, because if you don't get the sound selection right, it's gonna sound a little off. So what I found is that there's only one thing you really need to put on your sounds, and it doesn't really matter too much like the actual sound, and it's the effects. So these are just custom effects I made, and I'll click on them so you can see. These are all custom. And if you see right here, I usually will put like 1/4 delay on them. And it sounds weird, doesn't sound like it will fit, right? But you'll see that with this delay, it'll just make it sound a lot more ambient, okay? Especially when you get the chords going and everything. And then I have this one, okay? Okay. You can see the 1/4 delay. So if you're struggling to find the sounds you need for like this type of beat, try putting like reverb and delay on the sound and see if it makes a difference. And then you could probably put like a reverse or halftime effect on it to make it seem like it's I don't know, like a stringy type of thing, right? But that's pretty much like the sound selection, like the rundown. So let's go ahead and make some chords. And again, let's just start on our root. Let me drag zoom in. So you want to keep these chords fairly dark, and it's gonna sound dark because we use harmonic minor. So if you don't want to make a chord, just skip every other note within the scale. So it'll be something like this. Skip that one, go up here. Something like that, okay? So I'm gonna just go ahead and try to keep these fairly like together. I'm not gonna try to boost them up like this and stuff. I want to keep them simple and like steady. All right, so just pull those up for a little variation. Now you can see I'm trying to keep these as close as possible without, you know, going up like this or really down, because I just want to keep it like kind of just dark and emotionless. So I want to keep everything steady. All right, so it's kind of like a tip if you want to, and it's not the only way to do it, it's just how I do it. Okay, so let's go to this one, and we can kind of just copy this over and just modify these. And I think since it has so much delay, I think what I'm gonna do is just probably put one per like bar, because it's a pretty loud sound. And let's just delete everything else. Same thing here. So this will be probably the last for the melody, because I think this is good enough already. Now let's pull it up an octave. All right, so now all we have to do is just add some effects to it to kind of make it sound a little bit better. And yeah, that's it for the melody. Now let's move on. All right, so now let's focus on the effects. So this is important, especially when you have sounds that aren't too realistic, they're more synthy. So you want to kind of soup them up by putting effects and stuff. So I don't think we need effects on these two, but I'm more focused on this one. But first thing we need to do is kind of mix them a little bit. So I usually just take this, like right here, this first little band here, and I just pull it down like this. So like this part right here should at least be like somewhere like right here, okay? You can just kind of eyeball it. For me, I just kind of just pull it down like this, and then wherever it lands, that's just what I do. It's not that important. So first thing, we're gonna level them real quick. So I'm gonna just pull everything down except this one. Okay, so I think that's good. So now I have an effect. So I have an effect for these type of melodies, but I'm gonna show you like how to get the effect and what plugins you need to use, or like what type of plugins. And it's only 2, so I'm gonna just go ahead and grab it. And I think it's this one. Yeah. All right, so look, this is the first one I have. Now, you can use any reverse plugin. You can really use, if you have Shaperbox 2, you can actually do all these effects in one. But I have 1/8 a bar. All right, and then the fade at 100%. Now I don't do 1 bar or anything up here because it always makes the melody offbeat, or it just sounds odd. So I usually do 1/4 or 1/8, and the order of these do matter. So like if you put it this way, it'll sound completely different, but if you put the halftime below, it'll sound a lot better in my opinion. And then 1/2 loop for the halftime, and everything else is normal. And yeah, that's pretty much the effect if you want to kind of copy that with whatever plugins you have. So I'll play it. Wait, let me pull that back down. All right, sounds a lot better in my opinion. So now let's move on to the drums. So let's go ahead and start on this 808 pattern. So real quick with stuff like this, because usually you have like chords that like move around, right? So it's easy to just pick out the 808 pattern. And if you do something like this, which, you know, the rule is like, oh, just follow the lowest notes in the chords, which doesn't work 100% of the time, right? So what you could do is actually use the very top note. Okay, now again, that doesn't work 100% of the time, but with stuff like this, it usually does work. So we can just make our 808 pattern right here to just prove it to you. So we use something like this. We can even use the B, and we could do something like that for the pattern. Okay, so with like chords like this where it's they don't move too much, right? Well, just the inner notes are really moving. This is something that you can do if you're really struggling to like figure out where to place them. Place them down, and then all right, you can see it works. All right, so that's just a little tip there that you can use. So you can even move this down. So I'm gonna just adjust this stuff real quick. Just pull this out. And use like a slide, just because it goes with the style. So you just use the slide, and we can just put one here, shrink it, pull it up an octave, and just move it over a little bit. Let's do the same with this, but let's pull it up and see how that sounds. Okay, so I like that. So that's the 808. So now let's move on to the kick and drums. Now let's do the drums. So I would just go with the kick, but first thing, just like with any beat, I will start with the clap or like the snare first, because it's gonna kind of give you a bass. So with this style, it's gonna, instead of doing something like this, right, which you can do most of the time, is somewhere, it's like right here instead of here. Okay, or you can kind of combine the two. All right, but we just want to do something different here, so I think this is the right spot. All right, so now I'm gonna place my kick. So this is gonna give us a different rhythm, right? So now instead of if we were to put it here, we would usually probably just put our kick right here, right? And it's like the typical rhythm. So we want something a little different. So that's why we place this first. So now let's put that kick in. Going here. All right, let's just move on to these hi-hats. And these drums, they're never like super crazy. Let's just make us a little hi-hat roll. Something like that. And again, this little thing right here that they got going on in FL is just not, they need to change this. This is annoying. We'll do something like that, pull it down, mess with the velocity. Oh dog, this is crazy that they did this. And then we could probably like you can kind of do this thirds kind of like pattern as well. Then we could do a hi-hat roll up here. Actually, make it a little bit shorter. Roll it up, boom. Simple as that. I'll just play it. All right, and then I'm gonna just put this open hat somewhere, probably on the kick, like right here. All right, so now we're done with the beats, and let's play the whole thing with all the melodies. And here it is. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoy, hopefully you learned something. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.